Early the next morning, Avimelech summoned all his officials, and when they told him all that happened, they were very much afraid. Then Avimelech called Abraham and said, "What have you done to us? How have I wronged you that you've brought this great guilt upon me and my kingdom?" I can imagine at this time Abraham's going, here's the pagan king correcting the father of faith for his behavior. Abraham messed up. Avimelech's in the right here. Abraham's not. What? Do you hate us? Why would you do this to us? What did we do to you? You have done things to me that should not be done. So Avimelech asked Abraham, what was your reasoning? Why did you do this? And Abraham confessed. He told him, I was scared. I thought there's no way you people honored God. A little judgment going on there too, wasn't there? And I just knew that because my wife was so attractive that you'd kill me and take her. These guys, I don't know, maybe they would have, I don't know. But Abraham fessed up and said, man, I was just scared. Fear. How many of you have done foolish and stupid things because of fear? May I see your hands too? Thank you. Thank you for your honesty. Pause a moment. Think about that thing specifically. That foolish thing you did because of fear. Now, do you feel a little like this? Oh, shucks. Why did I do that? And there's different kinds of fear. You know, peer pressure is fear. Afraid of being rejected. Afraid of looking stupid. Afraid of not fitting in. That's fear. Maybe you compromise your standards and your values to keep a job. That's fear. Maybe somebody threatened to kick your butt unless you did something. That's fear too. There's all kinds of fear. Fear makes us do silly things though. I heard of this story. I don't know if it's true, but it makes a great point. There's this wife and husband team, and her job was to stand there like this while he threw knives at her. Now, you better have a good marriage if that's your job. I'm telling you right now, I would not take that job for anything. But she was brave. She'd just stand there, and she put stuff in her mouth and all around her. And one day at a live show, he's chucking his knives at her, and she drops. And the audience goes, oh! You know, they should do that in every show. Why don't they do that? I've seen the knife thing a million times. The woman's never dropped. She's never faked like she got hit. That would be so cool. That would be the greatest show. So everybody rushes up and says, what happened? Are you hit? Are you hit? No blood. Everything looked okay. She says, no, I'm fine. There was a spider on my foot. She could get knives chucked at her all day long. But a little spider on her foot, she faints dead away. You know, I'm telling you what. If I'm standing like this, I hope I don't flinch if a spider's on my foot. That spider may cost me a hand or an arm or something. How many of you have ever gone driving and there was a spider or a bee in your car? And then you started driving stupid. You could have killed yourself or something. I know, we just don't think. It's just gut reaction. So, in the hospital, we're doing pastoral visitation. You got tubes coming out at every angle. What happened? A spider did it. Fear makes us do silly things. I don't know. General Patton, the military hero of World War II, supposedly he said, because I couldn't ask him, though I did have the privilege of meeting his first aide's wife. She lived in Tucson. She may still live in Tucson. I don't know. She wasn't young when I met her about 10, 15 years ago. She was living in an assisted care home here in Tucson. Sharp as a tack. Told me a little bit about what it was like to be with Patton. Cool. Anyway, he's one of the mighty men of our history, General Patton. Somebody asked him, how do you feel before a battle? Are you afraid? He said, I'm afraid before every battle. But you wouldn't expect that from a mighty man like Patton with all that experience. But this is what he said, quote, I learned very early in my life never to take counsel of my fears. You see, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is overcoming your fear and doing what's right, regardless of how you feel. If it wasn't for fear, courage wouldn't exist. There'd be no such thing as courage. Let's hear it for Steve. He sat in a chair. Such a brave man. You know, courage means there has to be something fearful happening, and you behave properly. You know, I like watching no holds barred martial arts. I like ultimate fighting. I like watching those guys who are skilled go at each other in a ring. Call me sick, but I enjoy it. And I've talked to some of these guys, and I've heard some of these guys interviewed. And maybe they won't say it on TV, but the guys I've talked to, they're scared before every match. These are the toughest men in the world, probably in world history. These men can chew nails. These guys are amazing. And they're scared every time they go into that ring. Some of them. Probably the smart ones. But they still go in. You think soldiers go off to battle and they say, hey, this is fun. Pass me a six-pack. Let's go play. They're scared. But they do what's right and necessary. That's courage. And that's kind of how it's got to be for us. I read this poem online a while back. Let me share it with you. I'm inwardly fashioned for faith, not for fear. Fear is not my native land. Faith is. I'm so made that worry and anxiety are sand in the machinery of life. Faith is the oil. I live better by faith and confidence than by fear, doubt, and anxiety. In anxiety and worry, my being is gasping for breath. These are not my native air. But in faith and confidence, I breathe freely. These are my native air.